Yo, this shit OP. Yo, this shit OP. Yo, this shit OP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to South India's Battle of the Stars, hosted by Downtown Gaming and Ultimate E. I'm joined here with my good friend Nikhil Lamek. Lamek, how are we doing today, buddy?
Today seems like it's going to be a good day. Similar to last weekend, we have four exciting maps coming your ways. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, Johnny.
Awesome. Any teams, any clans you're rooting for this time around?
I mean, it wouldn't be fair to not mention the fan favorites from last week. In particular, I think the team on everyone's mind is going to be Blind Psycho, who pulled off some
Definitely.
amazing moves and amazing gameplay last time around. So I think they're going to be the top contenders. Other than that, we have a lot of other interesting teams who did showcase their talent in the form of Vadihar. We have UTech Tamil. We have, I think, Team Goku, who are also going to be looking really interesting on today's roster. What about you, Johnny?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I agree with everything you said about Team Blind Psycho. They really were the team to beat last round. So very curious to see how what strategies other teams would have to use now to to try and beat Team Blind, because they seem to be the guys who are to beat. So I have another call out for Team AKA.
Yep.
They were in hot form during our midweek scrims, which serves more as a tryouts for the weekend scrims. And yeah, okay, it looks like we're on the way now. Plane's trajectory right smack dab in the middle of the map. Lamek, where do you think teams are going to be
I
heading
had a
to?
feeling. I had a feeling you were going to ask me that question, and I was already putting myself on the flight, telling myself where would I go. It being a tournament and it being maybe kind of pride on the line, I don't think I really want to go to any of the hot spots. I do have a soft spot off late for Yasnaya, to be honest. I quite like landing in Yasnaya. I feel there's a good distribution of buildings, houses, and those apartments, and you can find some great loot there. Interesting enough, not a lot of people go to Yasnaya. I don't know why. Maybe it's a mental block, but yeah, that's where I'm going. You go to Pochenki, Johnny?
Sorry, Lamek, can you say that again?
No, I was gonna ask you, would you go to Pochenki?
Depends on how many rounds of PUBG I had played before. Maybe if it was the first game or something like that, I'd probably be like, let's take it a little slow, let's build
Yeah,
up. But after losing like 3, 4 matches in a row, you want to be like, what, let's just get it over with quickly. I don't want to sustain. So
yeah,
yeah, I put
I
myself in
definitely understand
Pochinki.
what you're talking about over there.
Yeah, looks like Team Blind have already started. Uh, looks like they're all alone in Pochinki. Meanwhile, we've
If
got
I'm not
Team
mistaken,
Team
Castro is going to
Castro.
Yasnaya.
I think they were listening to you, Laming.
Ah, see, not bad. I just hope they don't
Good
die very
decisions by
early.
Castro, and they were tutored to really perform well, but they were a little let down last week. Fans seem to have a lot to say about Team Castro. Let's see how they do this round.
So
Here
they
we
got
are,
about
round
two and a
started.
half minutes right now before the first circle starts to close in and everything. If you were in this situation right now, what are the top things which are going through your mind? Take us through that, Johnny.
So, um, the always the first thing that you always want to be doing is making sure you have good enough loot, good enough meds,
Mm-hmm.
consumables. If you get a scope, all the more better. Most often than not, finding that good scope is the one that takes the most time, is more rare.
Yeah.
It also I also feel like the way that the loot is distributed uh, in every round we play for the same map, it varies. So there might be a day when we'd get like a ton of great loot. There might be a day when we wouldn't have any loot, even though we landed in the same place. So it differs. So yeah, my first aim is to always look to loot, and so you're battle ready. You don't want to be caught with a pistol versus some kind of AR, right? So I guess that's
Yeah,
always
yeah,
how.
of course.
Can we head back to the minimap so we can just have a look at where all the teams are kind of. Looks like team 13 is heading towards Yasnaya. I'm curious. They seem to be pretty spread out, right?
Yeah, it looks like a very even distribution, as you said. A lot of teams occupying pretty much all corners of the game. I don't see any hotspots as such which have been left alone. So
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting to see how they all come together. So far, maybe it's been 2 minutes, no exchange of bullets. We still have all 58 players alive. I think that's only
yeah,
going to get a little bit more intense soon.
definitely. I'm trying to spot where the first battle might happen. Right now, it just seems like it could all happen at the same time, Lamik.
Yeah, there are like so many places where things can happen. If you look at the corner, you can see there are quite a few people at Georgia Pool. There's some activity happening at military base. Next to Quarry and Primos, we see two teams as well. I mean, I won't be surprised
Pochinki's
if it
got
all starts at the same time. Sorry?
Pochinki's got team blind occupied over there, so I think that place seems a little secure at this moment.
Yeah, maybe they're a bit comfortable over there.
Definitely, you can't like it's quite easy for another squad to just sneak into Pochinki, right? I mean, it's actually a pretty big area.
Yeah, yeah. You have a lot of
So it's
entry
like,
spots, as you said.
yeah. So it'll be really interesting to see if anyone actually does venture into Pochinki. The good thing about blind is they took the risk, landed at Pochinki, and they have been rewarded with some great loot. Because Pochinki
Yeah, definitely.
uh, always seems to have the best loot. Let's see. Looks like Team 9 are quite happy in Georgia poll. Team 15 as well, the Telugu Gamers. They
Yep.
did finish second in last round's overall standings, the Telugu Gamers. They didn't win any round though, but
Yeah.
they got most of their points in kill points and positioning at the end of the round. So that's quite good on them, and they are quite promising as well. Curious to see
Yeah,
what happens.
exactly.
Team 19 with our favorite bunch of amateurs. We have Arjun Samson, Natty
They're
B,
like the
and
fan. Are they fan favorites, Johnny, or do they have like a cult following? Team 19.
I think their only cult the following is just you and I, Lamek, and maybe our podcast. It's a niche club, if you will.
I
so
think I think I think I think I agree with you. It's a definite niche club. I mean, it's definitely not everyone's cup of tea, but yeah, I think I'm sold on them.
yeah, definitely. It looks like are we going to be seeing a bridge camping here, Lamek? It looks like Team AKA
I
or
don't really
Team
think
Trust.
so. I don't think the circle is actually allowing them to keep too much attention on the bridge. Because
Hmm.
as we can see on the map, the circle seems to be going towards the northeastern part of the map. You know, we're going
No,
towards.
but they are outside.
Um,
They are outside. So let's see if Team 14 make their way towards that bridge or the other one. There are three teams on the military base. So, oh no, he's got Team 19 heading right towards Team 17's aka Captain. He seems to be going away though. Probably on his way to get a car. These guys, this could be. I think we could be seeing our first battle, Lamik.
it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, they are in a good spot to have like a vantage of the bridge,
Oh
but
no.
Ah.
We got Team 17 now, close to Team 19. These guys have not made any sound. This is a
Oh
brush
my
with death.
God. That was I think they played their part a bit wisely. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't think you wanted to engage so early.
true. And they're also outside the circle, so now they've got to find their way inside.
And you and me both know that, I mean, any damage you're getting in gunfire when you're in the blue zone is just twice as bad as it would be. And um, I don't think you really want to see yourself
Definitely, yeah.
dying in the storm. What do you think?
That's the last. That's the last way anybody wants to go. Uh, we could be seeing Team 19 now. Is there a bridge battle going on? No, I think Team 19. Can we head to Team 19? We could be seeing a battle here right now. They are waiting. They are waiting on top. This is going to be a little tricky to.
Oh, Team
Yeah,
19
they've
is
seen.
right, is just waiting for them.
Oh no!
I,
They've started. They've started.
I think you have Team 14 who might join them. What do you think? Huh?
Team 14. Definitely. It looks like Maddie B has been knocked and has Baby Gangster. It's up to Arjun to keep it together. Oh my God! Our favorites have been eliminated. Looks like Team 14 are in the mix right now. Team Eagle. The smoke wall has been thrown. There is some.
We see setup Salapa who's down as well. Sorry to bring that up. Not too sure where that
Oh,
battle exactly is going down, but yeah.
this looks like an intense battle. Can we go into one of the players' views? This is a sniper battle outside the storm. They seem to be driving away. This would be the best thing for Team 6 to do right now. Is to just get out of the storm, try to reposition in a better place. And NFG, Lamek, we've got
NFG.
NFG on our screen right now. Another bunch of
NFG.
semi-pro amateurs, if you will. Very curious to see how they go about it. Seem to be playing the long game, Lamek, taking it slowly.
Yeah, they're in shooting range, if I'm not mistaken. Seems like they did have a drop behind them. I don't know if they managed to get to it or not. Um,
We've lost Setup Telefa in this team, though. That's the sad part. He is the one who won the award for best user ID name season.
I mean, I was definitely voting for setup Salapa on
Definitely.
the best user ID. I mean, hands down, nobody came close to him, right?
So let's see how this goes. I guess if we can open the minimap, we it looks like the school Lamek that seems to be closer to the center. We've got Team 13 very comfortable in the middle of the circle. They are quite near a drop, which could attract other clans as well, confident clans. Right now, you just see Team AK making the way inside the circle.
Oh wow.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah, I
That's a
didn't.
big
Wow,
jump.
that we still have 50. We have 54 players alive. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of battles happening outside the circle right now. Seems like only two teams are comfortable in the next circle as well.
Yeah, looks like Team 9 seems to be split. They seem to be in two different areas. You see one bag of T9 right near Raw Shock on the top, and the
Yeah, yeah, I
other
think so.
set of T9 closer to the circle. Interesting strategy to split and play.
Conquer and divide, maybe, Johnny.
Now we're going to see Utech Tamal getting closer to Team Blind, possible third party from Team Castro. Team Blind just making it inside the circle. They've got 4 cars lined up. Oh, I think it's just 2 cars. Okay, I guess the battle's about to start right now. Everyone's inside the circle. This is an open field, Lamek. This is going to be tricky always.
It's your favorite, right? You love playing in open fields.
I hate playing in the open field. I mean, it's the hardest to survive. Mate. You've got to snake. Our famous snake rajas will come out.
Snake Raja! Snake of the year. Oh, what was the last time you gave an award to somebody, if I'm not mistaken?
Some shots are being fired over here, but
It doesn't really seem to.
deflating the tires over there. It's a little bit of a shady thing to do, right? Blow the tire up, but I guess it's part of the strategy.
I think, yeah, you got to be smart. I mean, you don't want your opponent to get like the upper hand and just escape. You kind of want to push them towards the corner and get them, yeah.
This is an interesting open field scenario. There are a lot of trees. Team 17 getting right next to Team MRG Goku, right? Yeah, Team 8.
Yeah.
We could see Team AK. This is going to be a good one. King VT has been knocked. They are outnumbered. Let's see if Team King VT is done. He's out. Let's see if AKA Captain manages to get. Oh, he's been knocked. That was a well-placed grenade over there by.
Oh! Flash, just about.
ZZZ Flash is still there.
Has he been knocked? No, he's still out now. He's still moving. He managed to help up a little bit.
It's about to. Yeah, the team is done. GG's to Team AK. They were outnumbered. And here we have Team 9 third parting. This is going to be interesting to watch. Oh my god, they managed to knock Team Raven. PG. He has been knocked. Can we?
They're still outside the circle. Sorry to cut you off there, but they haven't managed to get all the way into the next circle either. Within 15 seconds, they're gonna have their best friend, the Storm, approaching them.
Yeah, and that's not good. Okay, we have Team 9, Team MRC, Goku, and Team 8 just holding position, not making any sudden moves. And Team 9 seem to be crossing. Team Raven, they seem to be crossing. I wonder if MRG Goku has heard them, possibly has. They will need to head to the circle. Looks like a battle is brewing right here. Team 6 and Team Eagle. Oh, there's a third party possible from Team 8. Double drop, Lamek. There's a double drop in this.
I was just going to tell you, yeah, I can see. I mean, but it definitely seems like more interesting things are happening right here, as we can see.
You see Team 18 now making their way to this party. And Team Blind, they've just got one team kill. They are playing a very slow game here, Lamek.
Yeah, it's a bit quiet from them, no? Very different to what we saw them doing previously. But I guess, yeah, you got to play it as it comes. We still have 40 players alive. Here we can see Blind definitely going for some action with Team 3.
Team UTech Tamil, they were good first round, and let's see if the grenade made any contact. Looks like there's a flare, Lamek. This is just gonna. Oh no, our second favorite amateurs have been are being taken down over here. Looks like they've been taken down from two different teams, Mavik.
They're just in between a really bad sandwich right now, and it doesn't seem like they can get out.
Somebody just threw a grenade on Team 6. That was incredible. Looks like Team 11 is quite near this battle. They could just third party this whole thing. And they seem to be doing that right now. Just get that full boost going.
Yeah, I think you're gonna need. Oh, you know what's so funny? We have the red zone in the
Oh my
kind of
god.
circle. You think anyone is gonna get knocked or die with the red zone? I think so.
Oh my god. Blind has been. Two of them have been knocked
Oh,
from
I didn't
team.
expect to see this.
Did not expect to see this. Looks like the Telugu gamers. Oh no, that's UTech Tamil. They crept on Team Blind and knocked two. That was a really quick smoke wall that's been created there, Lamik.
Yeah, okay, it's like I think 6 or 5. Yeah, 5 grenades if I'm not mistaken.
I know how hard it is to do this, to just, quickly shuffle between your own inventory because that's something that really slows my game down in a big way. So, like, full power
Yeah,
to these
yeah.
guys for, like, thinking on their feet. And let's see how this goes.
I think they've
Red zone
taken a
as well.
lot of damage right now. They seem to be really finding themselves in a bad spot.
Red zone plus super drop. This is
It's all coming together right now, and I think the circle is also going to start encroaching them.
Blind going for a wider approach. Looks like Team Telugu gamers are happy. They've got shelter. This is they're in a good spot. Looks like they're outside the circle though, so they will have to move it. Ramek, how would you play this? Would you ever get out of the car?
I think I would get out of the car because a car by default attracts attention.
Team Castro making quick work of Team Blind right now, it looks like. Wow. Team Blind is down to two people now. Blind Psycho and Zal. Oh my god, it's all getting over at the farm, Lamek. Meanwhile, a super drop falls at the edge of the circle over there. Very interesting to see. So we've got a clan in the barn. We've got the Telugu gamers and the Raven player in the house in the corner. Team Castro have got this corner set. Team 3 in the open field and Team MRZ Goku recuperating somehow in the open field. Namek, in this position right now that you see, who do you think has the advantage?
I think it's first and foremost, you got to be in the circle. I mean, let's get that straight. You need a health up, you need a boost. You need to boost up as much as you can. So I'm not even considering the people at the extremities. I feel like Team 5. I feel like Team 5 is actually in a really good spot. Especially having 4 team members alive.
Yeah, there is some fighting going on over there between Team 9 and Team 5. Team 15 going after Team 13. This is a very brutal circle. It's just pushed them out to the field. Now I guess it's about who can stay outside the circle as long as possible.
I don't think we're gonna have much time for that. I mean, I think now's the time when you gotta engage as much as you can.
Yeah, you want to be racking up those kill points as well. Telugu gamers being knocked over here. They are outside the circle is encroaching and he is reviving him. This is just a very tricky scenario now, Telugu gamers. He will need to health up and then scoot. Team 5 now.
Look at them, all of them have vehicles. All of them.
All their own vehicles. Very interesting strategy. to watch in the final circle. I feel like that might just be the best strategy, unless somehow they lose their vehicles in the process. I'm famous for crashing them into trees under pressure, so
Oh, you definitely are, my friend. You definitely are. I feel like the cars are being used as a barricade by themselves. I mean, after the car blows up, there's nothing more you can actually do with it. So,
yeah.
it might actually be used as a great way to hold a
I think
position.
I think Team 5 has an interesting battle going on with Team 11.
I
Team
think Team
Castro,
4 is
no
also,
third party,
Castro is
Team
also
5 back.
joining them, yeah.
They are in a very nice place. They've got their cars. Looks like they've spotted Team 8 getting that smoke wall ready. Looks like they're deciding to play this on foot. This would be the strategy, Lamek. Let's see how this one goes out. This is a very interesting final circle. They've got Team MRG Goku also on the edge of the circle. Strategy is to just drive into the smoke. I'm really surprised that we're still getting flare drops that are falling in.
Oh,
Oh,
and
Blind
Zal
Charge
is
just
knocked
been
out.
knocked. Instant knock. But Blind Psycho has scored a kill. Will he be able to come back in time and revive his friend? Blind Psycho now playing for himself.
I don't think Zal is gonna
He's in a
make it
very
through, is
awkward
he?
place.
Oh,
He's
wow.
all alone.
Oh,
He needs to help up. That was a perfectly placed grenade that just killed Linezal. Blind Psycho all alone for his team now. He's got the smoke wall out. How's he going to play
but
this?
is
He's
that
got
gonna be
Castro right
enough?
on him. Telugu Gamers behind him. Behind Telugu Gamers, we've got team number 5. Which team is that? Is that Red Parasite? Yeah, it's Red Parasite. It's Team Red Parasite. And we've got Team 8, MRZ on one side. This is a very interesting circle. We see all the snakes happening right now, Lavik.
I feel like Team 5 is in the best
Team 5,
position
there is
right
a
now.
battle going on now. There is a battle with Blind. Blind going after the Devil, PG Devil. Blind Psycho making a run for it.
Blind Psycho is almost dead. Oh, and Blind Psycho has
And he's
been
out.
taken down.
He's been taken down. That's unfortunate for him. It's a tough one. I mean, he was completely outnumbered on all sides. Looks like Team 8 as well. Down to their last player, and Team 8
No,
is done.
so it seems
Looks
Team
like
5.
Team Castro versus Team 5 versus 1 from Telugu Gamers. Will he be able to survive this?
I
Best
don't
case
think
scenario
anyone
ends on a
knows he's there.
1v1.
I don't think anyone knows Telugu Gamer is still there.
Yeah. Team Castro now in a good position. They seem to be together. Team 5 are done. Now it's just Telugu Gamers versus Team Castro. It's only a matter of time before Team
3v1.
Castro wrap this up. Oh, are we going to see the clutch of all clutches, Lamek?
I would love to see the clutch of all clutches. I mean, he's got to play it smart though. In his position, a lot of frag grenades could
One more
help.
storm. Wow, he's built himself a nice smoke wall, but they have a car, Lamek. This is
That's a good strategy. As you can see right now, he's probably, yeah, I
all
was
over.
just going to say, he's going to be probably easy work to deal with over there.
GG's to Team Castro, man. I mean, they brought it right back up from last week. Complete turnaround.
I mean, that was great. That was just fantastic gameplay overall. I mean, as we saw the final circles coming together and everything, it was tough. I mean, we knew it was going to be tough from the beginning, seeing it on an open field, not a lot of shelter and cover, a lot of very efficient gameplay, I would say, by the top teams. You know, I mean, they kind of knew when they had to engage and when they did not have to engage, and yeah, I think that's what it's all about. You know, playing your hand at the right time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was overall a great team play. They moved like a unit, and if you look at their team kill sheet as well, they all seem to have contributed greatly to it. racking 11 kills overall. That's pretty great score. And we see a very consistent second place team, Telugu Gamers. They did finish second in last week's overall standings, so they do come into this as favorites as well. Uh, I mean, that was just quite unfortunate for Telugu Gamers, right, Lamik? I mean, he was just completely outnumbered. He tried.
He tried. He tried. Silver lining and all of that is he made it so far. He did have a good game, but against three professionals of Castro with the vehicle on hand in an open field, no. I think he could have had a better chance if he was maybe in a building or on the first floor of a house. Maybe with
Yeah,
the
he definitely
sniper he
needs
could have tried. Yeah, but no.
some kind
It
of
was
advantage.
yeah. But like I said, it was great. Very respectable play by Team Telugu Gaming.
Yeah, they were quite good. What were the upsets, Lamik, from this round?
Um,
I don't think Team YTT didn't do much this round.
yeah, I was a bit disappointed with AKA also. I thought they would stand a better chance or at least see it through a little longer. But I think I think the circle, the dynamics of the circle was so funny that it didn't encourage a lot of battles in the beginning, and then towards the end, towards the last two circles, it was just absolute carnage. Teams going down, second after second.
Yeah, I mean, it always seems to be the story, right? Teams lasting as long
Yeah,
as they do,
yeah,
and then the final few circles are where the intense carnage happens.
exactly, exactly. So, I mean, this
Definitely,
is still only the first map of the day. We still
yeah.
have three more to go. A lot of redemption, a lot of revenge, a lot of people trying to prove a point. Yeah, so it's still quite open, Johnny.
Remind us, Lamik, which map are we going to be playing next?
All right, so if I'm not mistaken, we are heading to Sandhawk. I just need to confirm once again.
Yeah, it looks like we are heading to Sano.
Yeah, we are heading to Sandhawk, exactly. And that
And this round will be starting at um, all right, I've just been confirmed that this round is going to be starting in the next 15 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
Yo, this shit OP.
Alright, guys, so welcome back to our second map for this Sunday's edition brought to you by Downtown Gaming and Ultimate E. The map we're going to look at right now is Sandhawk. I'm joined by my good friend Jonathan Raphael. Both of us witnessed some great action in the first map, which was Erangel. Johnny, let's hear it from you. What's going through your head right now?
Um, First of all, shout out to Team Castro. They absolutely killed it in round one. They should have a lot of confidence getting into this round, especially being a much quicker map, a lot more intense. And I guess confidence is key, Lamik, over here.
Do you really feel like confidence? We're talking about professionals over here. I know about you and me. We try to play PUBG a few times. We don't do much for like 2, 3 games, and then after that, it's basically good night, GG's everyone, and yeah, we basically put the game to rest. But how much is confidence in the mind of a professional? What do you think?
Uh, I think it's everything, bro. Uh, Confidence is not just limited to the pros and the amateurs. I guess I feel like it's not just limited to amateurs a lot. I feel like does factor in to the style of gameplay that happens even with professionals. Yeah, dude. I'm guessing when you have that feeling of invincibility. Also, one of their teammates died quite early. I think it was Falcon Knight. Yeah, so he died quite early. So I'm guessing he'd want to prove himself as well.
Hmm. I guess
And,
you're right.
and also that last circle at Erangel was quite brutal, mate.
Yeah, it was very vicious. I have to agree with you. It was one thing to engage in battle and try to have a good position into seeing where your opponents are, but to have the storm right on your tail, I mean, yeah, it just proved to be really difficult for some teams.
Definitely. That's where you see like the professionals really standing out. When the patients, the pressure, the pros come out.
I have a question for you, Johnny. Um, why is that PUBG Mobile in India is such a big thing? What do you think are the reasons behind its exponential leap to fame over the last few months and over the last year or so?
Uh, it- it's it's very. It goes down to two things. The first would be the whole concept of a battle royale style game is it's a very interesting thing. It's something that had come out only recently, right? I mean, it came out with PUBG. I think PUBG was one of the first games to start the battle royale format. I mean, it is. You also did have the earlier Counter Strike and Doom, those first-person shooters, which was
Of course.
team-based killing as well. But this was something else. This was multiple level of team. So you already got the crowd's interest over there because the concept is new and uh, reason why PUBG Mobile is such a big hit, especially in our country, is because PUBG Mobile was a lot more accessible than playing PUBG on the comp. If you wanted to play PUBG on the comp, there was only one of two things: you had to have a kick-ass comp, or you had to be able to go and play at these gaming centers, which is not
Of course, of
cost
course.
effective. So PUBG
Yeah,
Mobile
exactly.
and India is one of, if not the biggest, maybe the second biggest market for cell phone consumers. So I don't know, they're just putting one and one together, and it's like I think that could be one of the reasons why PUBG Mobile has really boomed in India, especially the South Indian community. Right? You have our boys from Kerala
Yeah.
get pissed off when the commentary is not in Malayalam.
We do apologize for that. We unfortunately are not very well versed in Malayalam as of now. But I'm definitely going to agree with you on the availability and the ease of access for PUBG Mobile to the Indian community. I mean, I feel like anybody and all people from any walks of life have easy access to it. I think internet in general in India is quite accessible to majority of the population.
That's another crucial thing, right? I mean, our internet has to be fairly decent if you want to play any game online. And something like PUBG that takes up a lot of your bandwidth, a lot of your
Yeah,
mobile RAM. So you've got to have a decent enough phone as well.
yeah. Actually, that was the next
Uh,
point that I was coming to as well,
exactly.
was to discuss what do you think? What do you think the professionals are using right now? What do you think their mobile setup must be looking at?
Um, I'm guessing majority of the players over here are using their mobile phones.
Mm-hmm.
Might be a few using iPads, which I do believe gives an advantage for sure. You've got a bigger screen to play with. You've got more space
Yeah,
to
we did
move
have this
around with.
discussion recently. Yeah.
So I do believe that the iPad does give you an advantage, but I do not think that the iPad numbers. Maybe you have these pros who probably sponsored by a company.
Yeah,
That's a
of course.
possibility as well. So
Mm-hmm.
a company that makes tablets, perhaps. So you can't count that out. But yeah, I'm guessing it's all mobile phones. Mobile phones all the way.
What are your views on people who are using softwares or APKs to kind of boost their gameplay advantage? Like we definitely, since you and me have been gaming for many years, in fact, on different platforms, we have had the occasional conversation about hackers, cheaters, and all of that. Do you feel like it's a prominent threat to PUBG Mobile as well?
Definitely, PUBG Mobile. Right now, PUBG is the most scrutinized game because it is so popular and a lot of people. It's got a lot of events surrounding it. You're right. They've got the PUBG regionals. They've got the World Cup. They've got a lot of
Yeah.
different ways that the game is being exposed. So, when someone does complain about hacking, uh, a lot of people are aware of that happening. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
people are going to be like, "Yep, there's hacker is not a good thing." I mean, it just personally, I just think it's highly unethical.
Yeah.
Um, Curious to see. Okay, right now we're spectating Team ZZZ, who always proudly let everyone know that they're heading to boot camp, but it's like they had a change in direction, Lamek. Camp Bravo.
I'm just looking at the minimap right now, and it's interesting to see how majority of the teams have actually gone to the northern hemisphere of the map. You don't see a lot of action in the south. I see team
Right?
number 19, who's all by themselves over there in the corner.
We've got team number 10 and 14 probably having a clash right now. Can we head to team number 14 and 10? They are right next to each other, Lamek. I think we could see our first team battle over here. Iron Psycho playing bold move of again going to boot camp. I mean, going to a hotspot, but sadly finding nobody there. Battle is about to begin right now. We will need to see. I think Team 10 are placed quite well to have doubt paired up. Lamek, how do you think what do you think the best approach would be in a scenario like this when a 4v4? Would you like to pair up and move as twos, or stick together?
I mean, see, because since we're talking about, sorry, since we're talking about this situation in particular, we do have some kind of physical barrier between both these teams in the form of this kind of stream that's passing over. So I don't think it's a very smart move to actually charge in and attack.
Okay.
I think you're better off in a position to kind of find the high ground and just keep visuals across the stream to see that if your opponent is actually making any kind of moves and then maybe trying to pick them out. Because I think it's easier to kind of do that. What do you think?
Yeah, but it looks like team 10, Team KK seem to be making the moves now. Yeah, they are coming in. It looks like Ugly, Ugly, and was it Duryodhan? Are getting closer. Yeah, I mean, it's because of the stream, that just
Yeah, it
changed the
makes
whole
it a
thing. I
bit.
guess
It makes it a
we
bit
might have
difficult because I
to.
mean,
It looks like Duryodhan has taken hit as well. His health seems to be a little low. Yep.
I think we see some action happening elsewhere in the map. Oh, we see Team 5 over here, Red Parasite, if I'm not mistaken. They
Yep.
seem to
Red
have gone
Parasite.
through a little bit of. They've gone through a little bit of damage.
They've
I'm just
got two
trying to
players
figure out
knocked.
from who.
Two players knocked over here.
Is that Team 8, Johnny? Who
That's Team
we have some.
Goku. Just looks like one player though, and he's going on the attack. Red Parasite. He is outnumbered,
Completely.
and he's been
Yeah,
taken
I
out.
think that was.
Looks like Team 8 MRC Goku is completely wiped out. Incredible. Incredible. Did not expect that. They died quite soon, Lamik.
I'm equally as shocked as you. I mean, I'm just trying to process how exactly all of that happened. A bit strange, don't you think, Johnny?
Definitely. I mean, they were quite good the last time around. They did finish third overall, which is fairly good considering the roster we had last week. So,
Yeah.
quite sad to see them out so soon.
I guess that's what PUBG is all about. I mean, I think that's another side to PUBG that everybody needs to understand. I mean, when it comes to any professional sport, I think it all depends on how good and how prepared you are on that day. I mean, we've seen numerous occasions where big teams, big players, big individuals have bad days, like what we saw in the previous match as well. So I guess it's definitely a bit sad for the fans to see like a big name go out so soon, but it does. Coming back to our earlier conversation about confidence, just to echo what you had to say, I mean, I'm guessing that Team Red Parasite must be feeling quite unstoppable right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, doesn't look like this battle is gonna kick up anytime soon. We'll have to hope and see if the circle does push them towards each other, but doesn't look like this is anywhere near the map.
We see Team 9 who's slowly coming towards boot camp. I don't know if they're
Raven,
going
yeah.
to be a real threat for Blind Psycho. I'm sure Blind Psycho is in a way better position, but
Then KK Atom, he seems to be in a nice spot on the roof. Should have eyes on him.
I think when it comes to
Interesting.
professionals, you give them the smallest chance. You peek a little too long. You flash a little too much of your body through a window or through a gap, and that's it. I feel like it's over for you. What do you think, Johnny?
Definitely. I guess that's the mark of the professional. I mean, if it was against me, you can take all the time you want and nothing would happen to you. Yeah, dude. That's
Me,
what
myself
separates us.
included, yeah.
I mean, that's why we're on this side of the mic, Lammy. It's like
Definitely,
someone's going down from Team Raven.
I think Blind
Team
Psycho has
Raven,
managed to get eyes on them.
Bra seems to have taken some hits. Who was it? Okay, so Blind are aware that Team 9 are spread out neatly. And how do you think this is going to play out, Lammy? Do you think Team Raven is going to make moves since both of them have the circle?
I think it's going to be a very similar battle to what we saw happening
Wow.
um,
Wow.
with the other
Blindsal
two
has been
teams.
knocked. Blindsal has been knocked. I think one perfectly placed grenade right now would turn it
I think
around.
it might be a bit too far, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think this is when Team 9 should have pushed, you know. They got that knock. That side of the building was unmanned. So they could have just quickly made a move into that side of the building, but looks like they're playing it very defensively. Meanwhile, Team 17 have got a fourth player. It's Lord Boom. He's another pro amateur. Hopefully, they should have the advantage. Should have the advantage. Now they're four players. So, in terms of position, who do you favor in this matchup?
Oh, looking at it right now, it's a bit difficult to really give you my honest opinion because I haven't seen the circle. Okay, now I have seen the circle. Okay, I changed that. I mean, majority of the teams are looking really good. Even though some of them might be in close proximity to a battle, and you see Blind taking down one
There's a
player
battle.
already.
And Pain, but someone's been knocked. It'll be Nabrar or thing is they've got a lot of time over there to health up and be ready for the next battle. Looks like more shooting is going down. Team 9 taking some shots. How this one plays out. Oof. More bullets. Team 9 from the other side. If the broadcaster can move to the other players. Team 9. Seems to be some mad thing happening on this end, Lamik. Seems to be an exchange of just single player knockouts, Lamik.
Because I mean, it's like I think what we discussed earlier about you just staying a little longer in a vulnerable position and your opponent making the most of it. I don't really see much more action happening right now because there is ample amount of cover for both teams, and it doesn't really look like anybody is going to be crossing the road anytime soon. So I feel like it's just going to be a bit of back and forth exchange of knockouts.
You're absolutely right. It looks like the one good thing about this map is see now Blind decided to loot now, and Raven have no idea holding ground. I think this is when they should move in, maybe from the back into boot camp, because they seem to be having a height disadvantage as well in this case. They've got the high ground and to be in a good place. There is a drop that's about to fall, but I wonder where.
It'd be really fun to see if the drop just lands like in between both of them over here in boot camp.
More bullets, more shooting going down. Looks like Blind Unlock has taken some damage. The battle is quite a good one, Lamik. As in, I guess it's your patience like crazy, right?
Yeah. I think it can get a bit. I think it can get a bit annoying and make you feel a bit restless when you're sending so many bullets across.
Might see something here. Got two players from team. Oh, we got a full squad. Say AK squad versus IDB squad. Taking some hits, and she's really low. She's down to 1 HP. Oh, team.
Oh, but I think he's going to get knocked in the circle right now.
He's not in the circle, but I'm pretty sure he will be revived. Hot Boom, down to 1 HP. If they manage to take out MVP, this will be something else. They did! It did take him out!
Kryptos with that move over there. I mean, they need to get out right now. This is what we keep telling and we keep mentioning and stressing about the circle, the circle, the circle.
Kryptos and Maddie be all alone now for Team 19.
Johnny, I'm just gonna put it out there right now. I'm predicting a lot of out of circle deaths. Looking at the
Definitely,
way
yeah, looks like it.
the
Mean
circle is
storm
going
deaths?
right now.
Mean storm deaths?
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Definitely, it's a race, Lamek, for sure, no doubt about it.
Johnny, so I want to bring your attention to. Can you see where the drop landed?
Oh my god, it ran inside. Didn't land inside. Team blind over there, really getting lucky with that. Oh
Yeah,
my
that's a
god,
crazy drop.
Hot Boom just took out someone. Team 19, it looks like. Storm has been a nasty one. And
Blind
Psycho
Psycho
taking some.
almost
And Psycho has
knocked-
been knocked by Eagle. This is a different team. Like, oh, that's Castro. The Castro team has third party this. There are 3 teams here at this point. There's the blind team, Team Eagle, Team Castro. They're moving away, Lamik. Are they moving away from blind team right now?
I think they're more focused on the circle, and I think that's where you kind of have to have your attention.
Circle has moved away from boot camp, so Team Blind will have to move in as well. Team Castro from the other side of the river, taking out Team Blind. So that's they're in a good spot right now.
Yeah, they got the circle really close to them as well. They can just creep in at any time.
I think we've lost Team 19. We've got Team 19. Who do we have left? We need to check. Just got Cryptos left. Yeah, Narivi, looks like she died in the storm. Possible. Top Selapa right now. And with the name.
The best user.
This is Team NFG that Setup Selapa is a part of. It's like Blind Psycho. And on their vehicles, I think we need to move quite quick. Storm is quite brutal, Lamik, I must say.
I told you. I mean, looking at just look at it, and that's it. In a matter of 2 minutes, 75% of the map is out of it. You know.
Look at Team 14, 18. How is Team 14 going to get around? He's got a long way to go. Or is there a connecting bridge over there?
I also just want to bring to your attention, just look at the health meters on the teams and just see how quickly they are plummeting right now. I will not be surprised if we see at least, say, 5 to 6 people dying in the storm right now.
That would really be a downer, man. Parasite going for a swim.
Can you see on the screen? We have 3 people already who've been knocked out in the storm.
Yeah.
That's the 4th person.
Dorian. This is Castro team.
Also.
Castro team in battle right now. Seems to be a very intense battle because we've got Team 6 right on them. Elkin has been knocked. Perfectly placed grenade right now. Oh. Castro just taking a lot of HP off that placed grenade. Elkin. There's another battle going on over there. Oh, he's been knocked. Castro's been knocked. His team were here. End time. This is how
pretty well.
Castro really proving their worth in this one. Who's the third team that was third partying that? There's a Team Raven on the other side putting pressure on Team Castro.
Setup is down.
This is Setup Sarapa. This is so sad for Setup Sarapa. He is in the storm. It's like this team is not going to make it, Lamek.
No,
Entire squad getting wiped out.
Yeah, I think we've lost at least now to my count 7 or 8 people in the storm.
This is quite unfortunate, my friend. Team 5 right now, Red Parasite. For all 4 members, almost at full HP. Good chunk of the circle to play with. A good view, good vantage point. no one in their shooting vicinity. Could all change quite soon. We've got some battles going on over there with Team 12. Sabi Twister has been knocked. That battle is happening with the Youth Tech Tamilians. Interesting final circle, Anik. I mean, that was quite brutal, and I remember talking about how the good players know when to move out, to stop fighting, and head to the ground. Head into the storm.
Exactly. I mean,
Yeah, so today we saw a lot of the opposite. A lot of pressure, causing bad decisions.
see, because there was a point just to highlight this one moment in this match as well. Team Castro had the opportunity to kind of push and really put the pressure on Blind, but with the circle on your tail and with so much more of the match left to be played, you have to make the call to choose which is more important. So I think I find myself and even a lot of people kind of in this situation where they automatically feel attacking the team is way more important. But then when you have the circle right behind you, you have to be smart about it.
We might just see Blind Zal.
Oh my god. Incredible.
Blind Zal is still not dead though. Oh, he is dead. Unfortunately.
No, he is dead.
You know where Team Blind is. Team Blind is not in a good place right now. They will need to move. Telugu gamers are right next to them. It's going to be a great battle to watch, Lamek.
I'm sure. I mean, Telugu gamers play a really great game in the previous match as well, and so far they seem to have all 4 team members. Let's see what happens over here. They already know that
He's playing
Blind is on the
fearlessly, buddy.
back.
He's playing fearlessly. Cobra has gone down, and what's worse is they are outside the storm. If he can manage to crawl his way inside, he will have a little more time to pick up. Looks like Blind Psycho is making his way into the circle. He's getting his seater. Wow, it's only just 2 of them left, Lamek. Pressure, it's the pressure. He's crashed his car. Wow, this is some intense pressure over here from Telugu gamers. Blind Psycho on the back foot, running away from the storm. Team Castro in the middle over there. Looks like Team Blind are going to be running right into that. Oh my god, and Blind Psycho has been knocked. What would the decision be over here, Lami? Never know.
Nice. Right blind.
Don't tell me, oh my god. Team Castro have been completely eliminated by Team Blind, and Team Blind was third party. I mean, my mind is blown right now, buddy. Might be having some home issues with Nikhil Lamek. Let him. Let's just wait for him to come back. Meanwhile, got some high intensity action going on right now. We've got SRB Viper, who seems to be outside playing a dangerous game. He is going to have to move inside. Be curious to see how he's going to go about it because it's an open field. Team 5, he's got his teammates right above the hill though.
Yeah, Johnny, I'm back now.
Lamek, were you able to watch what just happened?
I think I saw Team Blind Psycho seemed to be in a bit of problem, but I managed to get cut off just in time. Can you please tell what happened?
Blind unlock. Team Castro had cashed Blind, and Blind was reviving Blind Psycho. Blind unlock was reviving Blind Psycho. Blind Psycho died. Blind unlock took out Team Castro completely. It was a clutch.
Wow.
And then he got third party. Unfortunately.
Oh my god. So you're saying that there is no Team Blind and Team Castro are both knocked out?
Both out. Yep. Both out.
Wow. Wow. That means that's actually going to be a really interesting final list of players in the final
We've
circle.
got Red Parasite right now. We've got the UTech Tamils. We've got Telugu Gamers. One has been knocked now. They two have been knocked. This is a very intense battle going on over here. Telugu Gamers against looks like SRB Viper has been knocked as well. UTech Tamils are really taking it to SRB Viper. They're building a smoke wall. Intense battle over here. Red Parasite. He is just spraying. He's knocking out UTech Tamils through the smoke. He just got insanely lucky there. Great shooting by Red Parasite.
Yeah, amazing accuracy and everything. I think.
Over the hill, like he was able to knock out Hell God, the SRB team. That's quite incredible.
Red Parasite seem to be in a really good position over here on this little small hill of theirs, giving them a complete
Definitely, and they
180
seem to
degree
have
view.
Knocked out a few players. SRB is a really bad state right now. Looks like they've only got 2 players left. In 13, Telugu, is that no? Lamek, I wouldn't have predicted this, Lamek, not at all. We've got 2 players from SRB. But the circle seems to have gotten away from them, so they've got to make a move. Throwing those smokes in. Crucial that you're able to create this wall, but I feel like they don't have the height advantage from the side, Team 5. Got Team 13 going up, Team 12. We could see some intense battling happen right now.
Just at the edge of the circle as of now.
Perfect grenade. That perfect grenade. Let's go. I think they've missed all. Meanwhile, Team Parasite has the circle. They can watch this happen. They're very comfortable right now. I mean, third party. They're poised to take this one out.
I feel like Parasite doesn't have to do much and they could probably win this game right now. They could just wait for 12 and 13 to battle it out by themselves. Oh my god.
Wow. It's a 2 versus 4 scenario over here, Lamek. So, thank you.
Oh, it's going
Team
down.
SHLD. Let's call them Team Should.
Team Should. Okay, Team Should has lost 3 of its players right now. Only one seems to be surviving. Do we have visuals on that?
Sabi Rockstar now. Only one left. Parasite has taken some shots.
Oh, that was interesting to see. I think Team 13
Didn't get it from
managed to
SRB
deviate
Rockstar.
attention.
See what SRB Rockstar does right now?
4v1, Johnny.
4v1. SRB Rockstar really taking it for his team to take out Team Should. It's all but over right now. No chance. No chance. They punched him to death.
Did they just punch him to death?
That was a brutal way, but GG's, man, to Team Red Parasite. They really stormed the field with this one. Just look at the team kill sheet, Lamek.
That seems like
That's 2.
That's about 10 kills. No, sorry, 11 kills.
kills.
Great play.
GG's, man. They had the positioning spot on in this game.
They were pinpoint. I mean, they didn't seem to suffer a lot of problems with the storm. They seem to kind of always maneuver themselves into the right position. Great spread out team play as well, you know, towards the final circles as well. Also, honorable mention to Rockstar. I mean, he came up with some pretty crucial moments towards the end phases.
Take his team to second, right? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Getting his team a lot of points for that.
Yeah, it would have been interesting to see if like a lot of more people like Twister and Viper from the same team managed to stay along. Could have actually brought the fight to Red Parasite, but as you said, GG's overall a great game. Sanoff is always going to be brutal. Yeah.
Sanok was especially brutal. I'm only
Yeah,
sensing
yeah.
the trend for the next map as well to be as brutal.
It's going to be interesting to see. It's a totally different playing field over there, as you and me know. Mirama does pose its own challenges and its own fun moments as well. So I'm eager to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with the new the Sandstorm feature, it
Yeah.
should definitely play for some exciting armor.
I think if there's anything that I've learned so far is that you can never really predict or you can never really know who's a favorite in a
Really,
situation or in matches like this.
really, right.
Because I'm just reflecting from last week about how we had so much of craze and buzz for Team Psycho.
Definitely, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. They were
Uh, Team
performing
Blind,
at that same
sorry.
level this week, though.
Yeah,
All things have changed,
it
right? Yeah.
seems yeah, it seems like they do have some challenges. They don't seem to be as fluid as they were before. I felt like um, they were way more attacking in the last game. I feel.
Right. I'm just reconfirming with the broadcaster what time the next round will be starting. Right, so we will be back in 8 minutes, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
Yo, this shit OP.
Alright, guys, welcome back to a weekend edition of PUBG Scrims brought to you by UltimateE and Downtown Gaming. We're going to get into our third match of the day, which is going to be held at Mirama. I'm joined once again by the one and only, most fabulous Jonathan Raphael across me. Johnny, break it down for us. What did we see in the first two games? Let's talk about that.
Well, one thing in common with both the games was that the circle was brutal in both maps. Really brutal circles that really jumped. There were a lot of teams in the storm. Wrangle had it was as lower at Wrangle, but it was in the middle of an open field, leading to a 3v1 situation.
Exactly.
Quickly finished, and the last round was a 4v1 situation. Was the final storm, and he got punched to death. I haven't seen that in a professional tournament.
I don't know what the message. I don't know what the message was that he was trying to put across, but I think getting punched to death is as bad as probably getting panned to death. I don't know.
I think panned to death would definitely be
A little better.
I feel it would end. Right now on our screens we've got the standings from. This is an overall standing from the first round as well, which happened last Sunday. We are in round 2 right now of South Indian Battle of the Stars. Looking by the score, we see Team Castro has made their way up to third place. One win they scored, and they seem to have a lot of kill points as well, 31 points.
I mean, it's very interesting to see that. Of course, it is your primary incentive to walk away with the winner chicken dinner. But I want to draw your attention to the second place team of the standings, who's Telugu Gamer. They in fact have not won a single game, but they have managed to play so, say, efficiently and economically that they manage to always get good points in each game that they played, putting them in number 2.
Oh, that's definitely crazy. And if you also pay attention to team number 7, Team Eagle, they've got to win. They're only 7th behind the Blind Psycho. I mean, what does that tell you?
I don't know, maybe that they haven't had very strong games after that win. Maybe that win was like a one-off where they managed to tally some big numbers and big kills, but I don't think there was much going on for them after that.
Definitely, I mean, it's not all about the wins, I guess. You've got to be able to finish way up in the table, or you've got to rack up the kills to get your points. So it's very evident that the teams with the most kill points on this board right now is Team Blind Psycho with 53 points over there. I can only imagine, because they seem to be miles ahead all their competition planning.
I mean, I still feel like the top 5 teams have within reaching distance of each other. I don't feel like look at the point distribution between 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's like 10 points between 3 and 5. With MRC, Goku finding themselves on the higher end of the 70s.
They seem to be evenly matched teams by the look of the standings, right?
Yeah, I think the top half of the table is still very challenging. Is still very challenging. I think a few good kills or a good game could actually really turn this table upside down.
And if anything is constant, is that we can't predict anything over here, because in the first round the top 4 teams were not the top 4 teams in the second round. It was a complete switch around. So
Exactly.
it'll be interesting to see how the teams strategize with Miramar. I think this would be the first time we're seeing Miramar in any of our midday or midweek or weekend scrims, Lamek.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. I don't think we have featured Miramar before. It'd be interesting to see how teams maneuver themselves in this rugged and mountainous terrain. What is your experience with Miramar, Johnny? I've heard through a very well source that you have a soft spot for this map.
Glamour, it's not that I have a soft spot for it, but if out of all four maps, I think this will be my second favorite map. I'm not a big fan of Sandbox
This,
for some reason, but it's just too fast for me. I prefer to play the longer
okay.
game. Just makes me feel good, but I don't know why it is. Not for any particular strategy or anything. I just too big of a pussy, I guess. Quickly.
Okay. So, so what's your strategy going into this game? If you were a player with your team, what are you trying to look out for? What are your do's and what are your don'ts?
Again, man, try to hopefully land where nobody else has landed. Hopefully have the best loot in the game. And then hope to get a few bullets off before getting killed, dude. I guess that would have to be the strategy. Always seems to be a pattern when I play, that is. So this is from the eyes of a complete noob in this game. I seem to have the best loot, and before I'm able to utilize that loot, I find myself dead. It's a little frustrating.
I was just gonna mention to our viewers there has been a bit of rage and a bit of hardships that we have faced as a team, me, Johnny, and some other people over the last few days. So just excuse my friends' bleak views on the game. Yeah, but I hope we
Definitely,
can
I
change
mean,
that around.
it's not. I don't want to talk, sir. I don't want to talk. uh, Censor guy for this censor guy for the commentary will have a lot of work if we have to keep talking about it. So let's just leave him out of it. Looks like we're on board now, Lamek.
Oh, it's
Get a
always it's
view
always
of
great to be it's
get a
always
view
great to
of
be joined by.
trajectory.
Could we have a look at the map, please?
Okay, so
Okay. Seems to be cutting in
um,
a quadrant actually.
see places like El Pozo would be quite empty. I think we're going to see a lot of people getting down at. Actually, I can't predict anything right now because most often than not I'm wrong. So I think we'll just wait for
Johnny, if you're on this flight, where are you getting off?
Probably Los Leones or Tumasera. What about you, Lamek?
I do have. Even I was going to go for Sumasera on that one. I feel like it's not too big, it's not too small. It's evenly distributed with a lot of high vantage points, which can be quite interesting. Considering that the circle has been so vicious in the last two games, I don't think I really want to be heading too far out to the extremities like to Prison or El Pozo. I think I would like to stay fairly central and then maybe maneuver myself depending on how the circle progresses.
Very curious to see. I mean, we've got majority of the teams inside the circle so far. So
I don't think a lot of them have actually
a lot of
landed yet,
action
John.
happening near the graveyard, Lamek. Quite start, in fact. Team 19 outside the circle right now, and team 17 in a safe. Might be seeing a lot of action near the graveyard. We've got three
Yeah,
teams.
this seemed to be a higher concentration. Even at Sumasera, it looks like we might have some action there. Peccado seems to be only taken by team number 10.
Yeah. I think in graveyard we've got team 18, 16, 3 and 4 not too far away.
I don't think we're going to be seeing too many problems with the circle on this one, Johnny. What do you feel? What do you think about that? Looks like most people are doing okay.
Most people, so by that, with that in mind, I'm hoping to see a lot more kills a lot quicker rather than towards the end, because already seem to have a lot of people inside.
Yeah.
Teams are quite close to each other. From the minimap, it might seem so, but they are quite distant. Looks like Team 21 is going to be taking out Team 6. 2 knocks.
Team 21, that's Arjun Sarvatam and Lord. Arjun Sarvatam and Lord Boom. Killed by a car. That is a cheap way to go.
I think I don't think Team 21 had any time to actually regroup or even find themselves in a good place for shelter. I think they were all out in the open, and yeah, they were just easy picking.
They just died. One is 16 on another rampant pitch. This is another team. Sorry, they killed YTT, and now we see YTT making a break for it.
I don't think they're in a position to actually engage in battle.
Oh,
So
they're
I think they
outnumbered
are.
4v2, so this is going to be a tough one for YTT. Head.
Is this
It's not
UTech
YTT,
Tamils?
but UTech summons. Exactly.
Team number 3. Okay. I think that
Team
was a
quite
bit
happy in
unfortunate.
second row. ITT Tamils next to Team 16 Telugu Gamers. That loot going. Coming from your experience, were you happy with the loot that you got at Kama?
Yeah, I think on previous occasions when I think I've played it with you maybe say a month or so ago, and yeah, I feel Narama does pose its challenges, but I quite like the challenge honestly. It's a good mix. It's a good mix of open terrain and buildings. I do find at times the map is quite huge, or maybe it is a bit big for me because I'm not too familiar with it. But in general, I'm quite happy with it. Yeah.
Hmm. One thing I don't like about this map is they've got an automatic sniper that's not an automatic sniper, a regular sniper with a 2x scope. The
I
Win
think you're talking
90
about the
scope.
Win 94. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had really bad experiences with that sniper. Really recommend to not use it. I just thought I saw someone pick that gun up, but might be a car maybe.
I think it was the car, the guy who I think team number 4 who was walking on top of that building. Yeah, that was a car actually.
Yeah. In Psycho, he's all alone, is it? Yeah, he seems to be all alone over here. Can we head to the mini map to look at the other teams?
Circle already closing in. Johnny.
I like the strategy, Lamek. Blind, the entire team has gone to the drop to pick up something. Blind Psycho has stayed behind. Any thoughts on that? I mean, why would you stay behind? What's the plan here?
I think you kind of serve as like a reserve or like a backup to kind of be able to maneuver yourself in case things go bad at the drop. Because I mean, you don't want to find yourself where all 4 teammates are in a potential trap where they're going to get picked up very easily by say 1 or even 2 teams on many occasions we've seen. So to stay a little back actually gives you the chance to kind of
Yeah, it looks
work
like
on your consumables as well.
that's true. Yeah, so you have a lot of time for yourself in those scenarios. We see team Red Parasite moving in to Los Leones. They have another team inbound. Seem to be having a slight technical difficulties with our stream right now. We should have that sorted in a bit. Red Parasite in Los Leones. Yeah, around is another team, Lamek.
It's a little difficult for me right now to figure out who that team is, but
Seem to be
Team
losing.
5 Team 5 seems to be quite by themselves actually. If you can just have a look at the mini map, we could
Just
probably
Team
get a
Vision.
better picture.
That Team Vision.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Team Vision number 7.
It might be Team Vision.
But they're far off. I don't think they pose any
Can't confirm if
immediate
they're
threat
Team
to
Vision.
each other.
They are quite far, right? I mean, that's the thing about this map. It is a pretty big map, which also makes it sniper friendly. So
Best gameplay right now would be to just get your sniper and plot your sniper with a scope as soon as possible. Looks like the blind team have done that successfully. They've gotten a drop. Probably someone with an arm in that team right now.
Got some people already struggling in the circle. I think that's Team 8 next to El Pozo, who seems to
Team
be,
Goku, yeah.
yeah, as we can see, they're already taking quite a bit of damage in the storm. I mean,
What are they
I'm
doing?
just,
They need to
I'm
lose.
even, I was just going to get to that. I find it really difficult and hard to accept the fact that despite knowing the challenges the game has and the storm has, you still find yourself to be so far off and focused on loot.
The problem. Definitely very challenging. It's a mind game, right, Lamek? You want to have the best loot, you want more time, and sometimes you're so focused on getting that loot to forget to keep an eye out on the clock. You've always got to have an eye out on the clock. Looks like number 4 closing in into the Team Eagle right now. It's a duo scene, it looks like. We've got a 2v2 scenario, which is highly unusual, Lamek. I usually watch squads move together, but seems that even Team 14, Team Eagle right now is a duo scenario. What are your thoughts on this?
I think they might be joined by
Oh
reinforcements
yeah,
by
the
Team
reinforcements have
14.
come.
Yeah,
Right, you're right. I think it's a 4v2 scenario.
I mean, Castro doesn't have its teammates too far behind, but as you can see,
Left.
this is exactly what we've been stressing about. Is you have to pick your battles very wisely. Team 14 had the chance to stand their ground, to maybe possibly engage with Team Castro, but I think they have chosen to
Actually,
leave it. Um,
the fight to live to fight another day, I guess.
exactly, yeah. Because I feel like you might have better chances in this map with the circle not being as vicious as it was on Sandhawk.
The blind team playing with cars right now. How is this working out? Oh no. Interesting dynamic. I mean, we did see the strategy of the four-member squad playing with 4 cars. We
Yeah.
seem to be seeing them moving in pairs. So it's a change, right? I mean, there is a change of strategy over here.
It's very different from probably what you and me might do, or what you and me might consider. Because I think by default you would always assume it to be safer and smarter to be all traveling in one vehicle.
Might
But I
see some
think
action right now. In fact, near Los Leones, Team 19 are favorite amateurs. It's always fun to watch this team just wandering away near the storm.
they don't seem to have much happening close by
He's
to
got a
them,
win
but they do.
94. Like, who's
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
got a win 94?
I think that's Baby Gangster.
It's a battle. SRB team, SRB going at it for Team 19. From the storm, is Team 19 making a getaway or they're stopping? What's happening here?
I think they're making a getaway. I don't think.
It's not.
I don't know if they're in a position to. Oh my god.
It was a bad way to go, my friend.
I think.
Team 15, the Telugu Gamers team, which is not too far away from here, probably would have heard. I mean,
I think this is exactly the reason why you don't travel in one car, Johnny. I think we saw it in action right now.
right now, I think we should start adopting these attitudes that we're picking up from here. It makes a lot of sense, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could see it right there. They found themselves being pushed off the road. I mean, they would have already saw that their vehicle was smoking, and it was just a matter of a few shots coming in, which ended up in the vehicle being destroyed.
Unfortunate, man. Oh, they seem to have lost their vehicle. This is unfortunate time waste, and it looks like Team 12 are approaching. Managed to maneuver it out. Great job by Telugu Gamers Cobra. Hey, Lamek,
I don't want to be too presumptuous, but I think when you name yourself Cobra, that you're probably a snake.
Um, I'm not really reading between the lines over there. I personally haven't put too much thought into the basis why a lot of people choose their names, but just so you mentioned it, I'm going to keep extra eyes on Cobra to see how he's maneuvering himself. To see
You
how he's
realize
maneuvering himself.
making around, he's living up to his name and all. Doesn't like Good gamers. Yeah, moving in two cars. Just not putting all your eggs in one basket, I guess, right? So
No, you see, you really seem to be on fire right now with the comments. I must say, I'm having a pretty delightful time talking to you right now. But yeah, it's better not to put all your eggs in one basket because I mean, we saw the basket of Team 21 just absolutely blow up over there. Yeah, exactly.
what is Team MRC Goku doing in the storm? Like, they seem to have playing most of their game in the storm.
We're gonna see them go down, Johnny. I don't see them coming out of this storm very victorious. They have a long distance to go. They're losing health at significant paces. Yeah.
Oh my God, tough one. They are quite far away, man. And once they enter, they're gonna have to be prepped for battle because it's a fest.
Yeah, we got 58. Yeah, 58 people alive, Johnny, and it's just a matter of seconds before this whole system erupts.
Completely against my prediction. I'm happy this happened.
I think it definitely adds on to some great gameplay for the fans and everyone. So I don't think anybody should be disappointed in that.
Looks like Team SRB.
See, blind cycle with the arm, as we were talking about, as you mentioned earlier.
Yes. It's a good move, right? It's funny because he didn't go to the drop. He was all alone. His teammates went there and gave him the arm. I mean, that's an understanding, I guess.
I think the teammates and I think all of them know that he's pretty sick with the arm. How are you with the arm, Johnny? Are you a good sniper?
I'd like to think so, but if we have to compare myself to these boys, I'm not, dude. Not at all. I'm not far.
I must.
Looks like. Oh my God! Did he nick him?
Yeah, he did manage to get some contact there. Didn't seem to do enough damage.
Revived one of his teammates down, reviving. I think this speed, will we see Team Blind Psycho push?
We see Team MRZ Goku going down.
Knocked out in the storm, buddy.
I told you this, Johnny. I told you it was writings on the wall. They were two off. They were all by themselves, and yeah.
That was depressing to watch, my friend.
You have to be smart, Johnny. I'm sorry to stress upon this like a math teacher in school, but you just have to be smart about these things.
Storm, right? I mean, when you reach this level, it's not a nice way to go, I suppose. But GG, fair play to them. They didn't. It wasn't friendly, so let's hope they are able to turn it around in the next round at least. Meanwhile, right now we are with Telugu Gamers. They've got all 4 members in their squad, all healthy. They will have to move. The storm is starting to close in right now. They got their cars, but they all seem to be traveling in the same vehicle.
There does seem to be some
right next to Team Telugu.
Oh, didn't manage to get some damage from the vehicle exploding.
VT is knocked from behind. It looks like
2 players are knocked, but he's got the Smith out.
He's lost King VT, ZCC Flash knocker, Whiskey knock. Captain is the only player left taking the revive. These guys are stuck in an awful place. Team Should breathing down. Team Blind Psycho moving in.
We have 2 teams who are very close to them.
Team 6 from behind. Grenade going right into Team 17, taking them all out with a single grenade. Wow, that's some MF Team MF Team 6, wow, that was just incredible job. 1 grenade for all. And Psycho Open shots on Team SRB.
There's so much that's happening right now.
So much, there's a lot happening, right?
Yeah.
Oh, something seems to be happening. Team SRB again. They are fighting with Team Blind. While Team 7 almost in the view. And Psycho
Ooh, Blind Psycho taking some heavy damage as well.
And Psycho running out of ammo. Needs to finish Viper off.
He did knock him out now.
And he's been knocked.
Oh,
It was coming. It was coming.
it's okay. He has backup at least with him.
Losing his health in a very drastic rate. Looks like Unlock has been knocked as well, Namek. This is not looking good for Team Blind right now. Team SRB really pulling out the stops for this one.
They're finding themselves in great positions, honestly.
I felt like they were actually at the disadvantage in that case, but Team Blind were a little too confident and left themselves vulnerable by. They didn't have the numbers for that battle. Looked like SRB outnumbering them as.
Just to bring to your attention, Blind Psycho has fallen.
Wow, Blind Psycho, we've lost the MVP from round 1 for this battle over here. It's PG's to SRB then taking out the front runner.
We still have a few teams who are not in the final circle yet. As to being told right now by our producer, Team 9 seems to be in a really delicious spot. They've got some high ground.
Got a drop as well for bait.
I think that's going to be a challenging one, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to see now Team Castro run into Team 9's vision, in this. Oh no! Team 9 will need to think Raven Ari has been brought down to 1 HP. See how Team Castro make this. Looks like they've lost. Now they've lost one player, Lamink. It's a 3v4 scenario.
Yeah, I think Viper has been taken down.
Team 9 not in a good place at all. Really like how Castro is moving in for the kill over there. We see Eagle Gaming third parting, Lamik. They're below. They're right down there. They're very close to Team 9. Very interesting to see this Team 9 not in a good position at this point. They seem to have the best, but Team Castro moving in. Got Eagles right on the other side of this mountain.
I got to give credit to Castro, who actually.
Even knocked. Parasite has been knocked by SRB also. Wow, this is some great play from the Eagle team.
They're completely changing things around, honestly.
100%. SRB Twister really twisting screws on this one.
Circle closing in again. Teams better be prepared for this.
It's been knocked on Indian Army and Root Gaming. Oh, he's taken out.
Oh my god.
That's great play by the Indian Army guy. The Rockstar. Oh my god. This is incredible gameplay by SRB Rockstar Army. Single-handedly took out Team 5. They do have a little more time to make it into the circle.
I think he'll be just about fine, yeah.
Battle right around the corner. Castro just running into the thick of things. Openly spraying, taking a few shots. They can't steal.
They're just throwing everything at them. Nades are coming in, mollies are going down. Castro took him out.
That was a clutch by Castro over there. How can I have been stopped? But the revive is happening quite soon. Team Castro not resting, making the move. Meanwhile, Raven PG has been knocked. He's helping up. Very crucial circle right now. Team Castro now making the move. Team SRB really on point today. We got
Oh, Vishal behind them.
Vishal out. Team 7 will knock. Oh, SRB Bible coming out 1 HP. He needs to health up.
That was a very close call.
Like he's got 5 health kits, Lamek. He knows that's the strategy
He knows
going.
what's going down. Yeah. But he's not out of danger, huh?
Not at all out of danger. 9 fighting with 2 teams right now. It's Team 7 and Team 12.
And we have a drop, which is also adding on to this mix. I don't know if anyone's going to bother about it, but just saying.
I think it all comes down to this now. We got Team Castro on one side, we got Team 9 right next to Team Castro, and we got SRB on one side. SRB playing with only 3 players right now. Putting the pressure on Team 9, who is right up on that mountain over there. They've got a good part of the circle. Raven can avoid taking any shots. They will be in a good position. They've got height advantage. There are a lot of teams at the bottom now.
I think right now the most important thing is probably getting yourself in the circle. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how they slowly move towards, especially on this very interesting part of the map where it's kind of in between 2 plains. We're in a valley. We don't know exactly what the hiding spots could be like.
This inning is really on point for this one, Lamek. These guys will have to make a
Rockstar has
move.
been taken down. Oof, Vishal going through some heavy damage over there.
They're going through Rockstar. SRB now down to just 1 player. Very tricky scenario. Is he near the drop, Lamek?
Yeah, I think he is actually at the foot of the drop, but I don't know if he's gonna really go for it.
Aim is just to survive right now.
Yeah.
Ignite Castro making the move from the back. Team 7, Vishal, only one left. He's taking hits. Falcon, he's knocked out Falcon. Taking shots. Raven on Castro right now. Castro's got to run behind that smoke.
The smoke screen, yeah.
Oh, one more shot. This is all coming from Team Raven. Perfectly placed right on top. They are outside the circle, Lamek. We see most of Team 9 outside the circle, Team Raven.
Well, they're going to slowly start moving in towards before they start to lose a lot of health. Because as we know, the circle only gets more vicious as the game comes to an end. So they definitely don't want to be outside when it happens.
All the smokes are coming out now. We're going to see like an intense smoke wall. I mean, it's really funny, like we see so
Oh
much.
my god, here we go.
Oh
The circle
no!
right behind him over here. He couldn't, no way. He couldn't find himself out.
Alkin, now there are 3. It's a 3v3 scenario, Lamek. The 3v3 scenario. Oh, SRB lone ranger, totally rode
Just
him out.
one person alive over there.
Has SRB been taken out? Yes, he has.
No, I think, yeah, he has.
3v3 scenario. Raven got the height advantage. It's a 3v2, 3v1 now.
Casper is all by himself. 2 of his mates have been knocked out. Difficult to see what really happens.
Oh, he's taken out. Pressure's on. They know where he is. Oh, what? GG's.
Brilliant gameplay.
That was incredible, man. I mean, did you see the hour of smoke on the pit?
It was brilliant gameplay. I mean,
Let me tell you why, Lamek, there was a lot of smoke on the pitch, because it's 4:20 p.m.
I must say to all the fans and to all the viewers, my man Johnny is on point right now. He's coming up with some crazy insights into the game and to other aspects of life. But just to highlight, 4:20 p.m. equals a lot of smoke. Johnny, I don't think you could have said it any better than that. I have to agree with you on that one.
But looking at the standings over here after round 3,
Raven actually racking up quite a lot of kills, putting themselves in the great positions, man. I mean, GG to them.
Great. Like, I mean, it was a completely different strategy from what we've seen in the previous two games, but they seem to really be in a good position to dictate terms of how the game in front of them was going to be played. They have great vantage points. They distributed themselves quite well, and it all ended up in their favor.
Definitely. It was. I mean, what were your thoughts on this Mirama? This was the first Mirama hosted by UltimateE. What were your thoughts on this one?
I think it was an absolute cracker. It was really entertaining to see how teams were maneuvering. It often is assumed that height adds to an advantage, but as we could see in one position where Castro was charging into team number 9 who found themselves on the hill, the table slowly started to turn. So a very interesting strategy adopted by a lot of teams. We saw a lot of crucial and interesting gameplay. So from my end, I think that was an absolute delight to see all of this unfold.
Seriously, I mean, it was very exciting last two circles. In fact, it's a common trend during these pro matches, but this one was especially a good one since Mirama was happening for the first time. It's very interesting to see how teams adapted to this. We would see them moving in packs of two, which was probably a strategy that most teams would do.
Yeah.
Just check with our producer what time the next round is happening, and also we will need to be working on. We're going to try and see if we can get one for a post-match interview. Like got word that we're gonna have our round by 4:35. So guys, be ready. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this. Right?
4:35. Okay. So 4:35. Yeah, we said.
30 itself.
Okay. Chill.
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. No problem. Cool.
Hello? Yeah, 1 second, bro. Why the heck can't I open this on the iPad? Bro, I'm gonna come. Oh, okay. Are they still on break? Alright. Bro, you have T1 players, you're not playing, man. Yeah, like there's TT, Karaoke and all is T1 player.
Hey, Viresh, I must say, great.
Are we starting now? Okay.
You start talking now. Are we live? Hey, welcome back to Weekend Scrims PUBG South Indian Battle of the Stars. This is day 2. We've just finished 3 big pack, full of intensity rounds with featuring Erangel, Sanok, and Virama. We're moving now to round number 4 and the final round for the day. This is the Vikendi map. I'm joined here with my good friend Nikhil Lamek. Lamek, how was Mirama for you, mate?
I mean, straight off the bat, Mirama took me by surprise. I didn't expect it to be so engaging and so dynamic to see how teams were going to position themselves and implement their strategies. But I must say, it was an absolute cracker to see in the final circle the maneuvers and the movement of teams. Yeah, I was really pleased with it. What about you?
Definitely, the strategies were very interesting. Meanwhile, we have King VT from Team AKA who joined us in commentary right now. Varun,
What's up, boys?
talk us through that round, mate. How was it for you? You seem to have gone too soon.
So basically, we shouldn't have. We're planning a big rotation, going back all the way on top of Impala and coming in from the north side of the map. So that got us a little caught out, where we kind of said, like, we were in two minds: either hold zone and then come in last minute, or make the rotation. And we went. I think we just chose the wrong choice. Like, we instead of going for the rotation, we were like, okay, let's just hold zone, wait for the zone to shift, and then make a move there. So I think that's where we made a big mistake, and yeah, we just started getting caught out, and then eventually got sandwiched by 3 squads around us. So yeah, it was a mistake by us, but yeah, I guess we're learning, man. These guys are pretty good. They know their game. They've been doing it for a much longer time than we have. So let's see. We still have another map. We're learning. We're coming in again with a different lineup from what we usually play with. So it's again getting all the synergy up between the 4 of us, trying to understand how we all play and make things work for us.
What is the reason for the new lineup? Was it just specific, or was someone unavailable today?
It was unavailability, and it's just that I think we need to we depend on few people a bit too much. So I think this is bringing in that different change where, we're not really dependent on one person, and one person can actually show his talent and whatever they are in for, So we're just trying to figure out who can become our entry fragger and, lead from there. So.
Oh, that sounds good. And also, how often do you practice at Weekendy?
So, not really too much. I mean, we've been like major Sanok people because the games are quicker. And Weekendy, we do play quite a bit. Like when the boys were pushing, they were trying to reach Conqueror. So all of them were like heads on Weekendy, trying to get the title and stuff like that. So I've been playing a little bit of that with them. But apart from that, not too much. But Weekendy is kind of a difficult map because there are lots of hills and, the cover is not too much. It's pretty much open. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch what these guys are going to be pulling out of the bag.
And any places that you already plan to land at, or is that a decision that you take on the plane?
So we have like 3 options out of which is standard for us. We understand that place as well, and we know what our rotations can be from them. So that's where we're going to be jumping in and plan the rotations according to how the zone shifts. Because the second and third zone shifts are pretty big, and the zone keeps getting tinier and tinier. So positioning ourselves into the next zone and defending maybe a compound or using cars to get a block for us is pretty key over here.
Amit, what were your thoughts on Weekendy? You don't play it as often, right?
Used to play it, I think, at one point in time quite often. But I think my attention kind of started to deviate, and we went into Erangel and Sanok a bit more. I played it a lot when it came out because it was, as we said, a newer map, and as VT also had mentioned, it had like a very interesting kind of mixed terrain with a lot of open spaces and a lot of great vantage points for sniping.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, it's going to be a very tricky match to see. And where do you see yourself facing in this game, man? You think your team has ability to take it?
Like if we bang in the perfect rotations and position ourselves pretty decently instead of getting caught out like how we did in Miramar, and Sanok was just stupid. But yeah, let's see. I mean, if we do the right rotations and our team synergy is pretty high up there, yeah, I think we will get in maybe a top 5 or top 6 for sure with a couple of kills.
Just got to ask you this. Sorry, Johnny. Just got this question. Since me and Johnny were discussing a lot about the zone, I'd like to hear from VT your views about the zone in the last 3 games. How much of a problem has that been for your teams?
So in Sanok, yeah, we did get a little complacent and very caught out with it. Started taking the zone fight pretty late out when the zone was running out, so that made a big mistake for us. But in Erangel, we died too soon again. We did a super rotation, like we went all around, and yeah, we got squeezed in between 2 teams. So that was a mistake. Again, we didn't run a full squad there, so
Yeah.
we're not calling like the right calls when we need to be making those right calls on the tactics over there. But Miramar was actually not too bad because I expected the zone to shift to the right side of the map. So that, I mean, that way we predicted that, but we just didn't really execute what we planned. And I think that's where we have to, believe in ourselves and just keep pushing what we know. And yeah, so once we believe in
Are you
something, I guess we
finding-
just got to go for it.
Are you finding the circle changes to be a bit too drastic from your everyday gameplay? Are you and your team like very well geared or equipped for this?
Yeah, so basically, when we play quite a bit of Sanhok, you generally see a big zone shift towards the third
Yeah,
zone.
exactly. Sanhok is a good example of those drastic changes. Yeah.
Yeah, so when I was getting the big zone shifts on the third zone, I kind of thought about it and I was like, yeah, okay, this is not really what, when I think people were complaining about it, but I don't think that should be a big hassle. I mean, most of the top guys were already in those places before you even know it. So I guess, again, it comes down to how you put yourself in a position to get right over there.
I did also see an interesting comment that you made about I'm just going to paraphrase and summarize what I understood from it is that it's not always, you need to be a bit smart about the battles you are going to be facing yourself in, especially when you have the circle on the line. You need to be smart enough or economic enough to make the decision, which is more important, getting the kills or moving on to the next circle. I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I think moving on to the next zone is absolutely priority. And yeah, you are right. The kills will come as soon as you get into zone because those guys will be trying. You'll get into someone else's rotation when you're already placed in the right place, and they'll just walk into you and walk into your trap. So I think, that makes what you said perfectly. Like you choose your battles, and eventually the kills will come to you.
Yeah, because me and Johnny were like witnessing a lot of people and a lot of teams over the last 3 games, and some people seem to be going after teams and going after the kills, even though they found themselves really deep in the storm, and it just came across as maybe it wasn't the smartest thing. But I mean, coming from you, I guess you have your own, you have definitely a professional outlook on the whole situation, which makes it more clearer for us and for the fans on how you need to play smart when you need to. Yeah, so thank you for that.
Alright, cheers guys. I gotta get back. I think they're gonna start anytime soon, I guess.
Cool, buddy. We'll let you go.
Chat with you guys maybe later on, alright?
Awesome.
Alright,
Have a good game, buddy.
All the best.
cheers, bye bye.
That was PT from the team AK who just had a chat with us. Dhamik, I had a question that I didn't really get an answer. I didn't ask. My question was regarding how do you plan your loot, right? How many smokes are you carrying? How many grenades are you carrying? What's the plan there? That's some insight that I actually wanted to hear from VT from Team AKA. Who do you normally carry your loot?
So I think over the last few weeks, when I felt that I was in a position, or rather, I found myself maturing a lot in the game. I started to pick up a lot of these useful pointers from seeing a lot of people play, either in the form of tournaments or even checking out a lot of great YouTubers. Whom I'm very sure you know whose name I'm gonna drop next, but watching YouTubers like Levino and Takaz, these guys definitely share a lot of useful insights on how to equip your loot in terms of smoke grenades and frag grenades. So I feel like my basic starter kit would definitely automatically pick, say, 4 smokes and 4 frags.
Got it. It's a big amount of smokes and bags, man. I guess it would be the sign of maturing in the game, as you just said. We can have a look at the mini map to just kind of get a sense of the trajectory of the plane.
I think it's too early for that, Johnny. We'll only see it maybe when the plane
I guess
starts
we
off.
have to wait.
I'm like looking at this map right now.
Yeah.
What are the hotspots? Take me through those again.
Okay, so if we kind of can zoom in a little bit, if the producer can just zoom in a little bit on the map, make it a little clearer, awesome stuff. Yeah. So hotspots, I guess, again, we're looking mainly at the loot. We're going to point out Dobro Mesto, Goroka.
All the way to left, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go more central right now to see Villa and Castle. These two
Right.
places are in quite. Castle actually is in a really interesting place because it's kind of on the island which has like about 2 or 3 entry spots, and you're kind of
Looks like 3 entry
isolated.
spots, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of isolated, but at the same time, you're like an easy target for people who are around. An interesting thing about the map is you see mixed terrains as you can kind of zoom out. If you notice going south to north, there's a difference in the color variation. You see like a more rustic brown, kind of a dark color in the south of the map, and as you go up, it gets more white, right? So this
Yes.
changes the terrain where you see the snow and you see mud.
Yeah, the mountain is the reasons as well, right?
And very interesting in this map, if you do like on the normal, when you play like on the classic mode and all of that, in a super drop, you can get 2 type of ghillie suits in this map, depending on the terrain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It would be unfortunate if the circle changed to the other kind, right? And then you'll just be roaming around with a white ghillie suit in a brown region.
Well, I guess it's bad luck Brian or bad luck Bob. But yeah, I mean, shit can happen.
Can we get eyes on the minimap? So we just it looks like team MRZ Oku team 8 has gone to Dobro Mesto as the first place you called out Lamek. We might
Yeah.
be seeing team 13 moving to the villa. In Parasite heading to the villa as well. Could see team 13 and team 5 to a battle. Team 6 and team 17 as well. Oh my god, that seems to be a lot of people over there, Lamek, right on the north side of the map, right? Is it team 17?
Yeah.
Is team right there. Everyone inside the circle, so they've got time to loot. These guys will need to loot as fast as possible. They are not in the ideal place. They are quite scattered.
Yeah, they seem to be in the north. They seem to be in the corner of Goroka right now. Looking at these 3 barns, Goroka is interesting because it has mixed terrains as well. As you can see, it has, and we have like a frozen lake towards the edge, towards like the whole side of Goroka, which a lot of teams can actually use to their advantage. It's a good lookout spot.
Okay, team BT's got eyes. Hooked him.
It's already knocked out one.
Castro. What is he going to do? What is the play over here, Lamek? Do you?
I think, see, because you just landed. I'm assuming that most of these guys don't have the greatest loot, even the best of maps that they want. Sorry, best of guns that they want. So I think you got to be a little smart on how you want to play it.
Right, very interesting to see. Team Castro now taking the initiative. I think they're pushing from the side, and they might be running away. Got to be smart. Going towards team number 7. They might be the Vision Gaming. Not 100% sure about that. They are quite close to team 16, which is is that the MRC team? Team 16. 16 is ruthless. They are quite close. Could see a battle very soon. Charles running on the side. Ruthless now caught in a place. Yeah, best is to take cover. Closer. Meanwhile, Team Castro. I mean, what are your thoughts on this? They've split up. Team 7 has split up to be conquering and riding and conquering.
I think the splitting up also adds to better access of loot. To be honest, because it doesn't make sense if everybody's going to be going through the same houses and buildings to search for what they want to search. Um, it just so happens that even though they are split, they don't seem to be in very close proximity of any of the opponents. So I think they do have some time to pick up what it is that they are looking for. And knowing the loot distribution and dislocation of the map, I think they'll be pretty fine. A little risky move over here by Castro, YT running all across the lake. He can just pick up quite easily, but seems to have gone on unscathed.
He's still doing it. He's just going for it.
Oh no, somebody is shooting him, or there is there's some
Seven, yeah.
gunfire.
Vision on them. How are they gonna play this? This is Goroka. Looks like we see Team AKA also descending into this battle slowly. Team Castro have managed to make their way across the frozen lake line with safety.
I think they were a bit lucky over there. I don't know how many teams could have actually got away
Come on,
with
right?
that. Speaking, yeah,
They now it just seems to be we might just see Team Ruthless versus Team Seven, Team Vision. Ruthless also stepped up a little bit. Meanwhile, there's a battle with Team KK and Team Blind. It'll be interesting to see.
I think Blind would be looking for some redemption after the previous game, hoping that they could win. I mean, they could win on a high in this game.
Too, too happy with his vest choice. He's still got only a level 1 vest, but his helmet is the best. We'll just quickly go over the standings after the last round to see where all the teams are standing.
Yeah.
On day 2, we still have Team 9 Psycho in the lead quite comfortably with 127 points in total. Team in second place is Telugu Gamers. They have by far been very consistent, always finding themselves in the final circle.
Yeah.
Sometimes finishing second best, but still haven't up that elusive first win, Lamek.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate to see that they haven't managed to walk away with the chicken dinner, but as you said, consistency is key. Yeah.
This battle between Team 11 over there seems very interesting. It all happened on the roof. Looks like some are going on. Team Should is getting into it. Has been eliminated. He was all alone. His team Should completely gone because he didn't seem to get knocked out. Have been taken out by Team Tech Tamil. 4 kills overall. Meanwhile, we've got our Team 21 familiar bunch of amateurs. Interesting to see Neeraj Uttam in this round. I wasn't aware that he was part of the clan. GG's to him. Let's see how he is this one. This guy seemed to be quite comfortable, Lamek, over here. Disturbance, happy with the loot.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, looking at surroundings, I think they were at Vihar. Yeah, I think they seem to be in a fairly good position.
This is a very interesting battle. We see Blindsal has been knocked again. He always seems to be the first one to get knocked out in his team. Check if they are being pushed. It looks like Atom has been knocked as well, getting revived over there by Ugly. How this one plays out. This is a very interesting battle, Namek. It's on the roof. It just shows the kind of scope this map has, but it's all sorts of terrain. You weren't joking when you said that.
Yeah. Like even when we had VT who came on as at the end of the previous game, he also really stressed about how his team adopts different strategies, especially in this map because of its diverse terrain.
Pushing. Oh, Blind was
Taking some
spotted, but
shots, huh?
he moved away just in time. Then shooting going on the other side. Blind Psycho has been knocked. Blind Psycho has been knocked. Can we move to the next player? It looks like Blind unlock trying to make his way there. Being pushed. Oh, he's been knocked. Oh, that was a great move by Unlock. He was down to 1 HP and Atom was a little too casual over there with the shooting. Didn't get feeling that he needed. He needs to be revived. Einzal is back to 75%. Psycho will need to be revived. They seem to be getting very close to each other, but neither team getting the crucial breakthrough that they need. Right now, Team KK seem to be on the back foot. Perfectly placed grenade right now changes everything. Oh my god!
This is
Suryan has
incredible.
been knocked. KK has been knocked. It's just down to one player. It's Krishna. And just making quick work of KK. KK just making that wrong move. Krishna's got to play for himself now. Like, know where he
Yeah.
is. He needs
It's
to
so
move.
interesting to see because at one point in time, KK looked like they were in a good position. They really put Blind Psycho on, Team Blind on the back foot, but it's just so interesting and quick to see how things have just changed. It's become a complete upside down.
Wow. Krishna really hiding in the storm. Make it stick. Oh my god, King VT has been knocked. Might just be joining us as it's soon. Team MRC that's crashed their party. VT losing a lot of health. Captain out. That was a well placed Molly. ZZ flash
Yep.
all alone. ZZ Whiskey with low health. Another well placed Molly. It looks like maybe. Or no. ZZ Whiskey is in the window. Down to 1 HP. Team MRC Venom making the move inside. Missing him off. Oh, that's bad luck to Team AK. Completely outclassed by Team MRC over there.
Yeah, that was some really good play, I must say. They picked their spots really well. The mollies and their frag grenades really came to their help. A bit unfortunate that they kind of got pushed into a corner. Yeah.
Had a early on battle with Team Castro. I wonder how Team Castro are faring. Did they make a break for it, or we need to a quick look on that? They seem to be all right. 0 team kills for them, but they do have that white Gilly Lamek.
Yeah, I've just noticed, and he's got the Groza also. I mean, that's a deadly combination. If you ask me, having a Gilly and the Groza. I mean, just look at the visuals we're getting right now. He can go absolutely camouflaged without anyone really bothering him.
I think that blue gun is the only thing that's gonna, hold his cover, man. That gun is quite bright,
Yeah, I think he's gonna be a little smart on his skins that he was using on his gun. But yeah.
MRC making their way across the map right now. Team Castro, quite happy over their team. MRC are not too far away. Seem to be riding by. If Team Castro catch end of this, if they're able to hear, might just see a fight happen right here, Lamik. They are not too far away. Probably can hear right now. Might see a battle right now, yes. How he managed. Oh! One's jump. Interesting strategy.
I didn't actually expect that to happen, but yeah, I mean, I think if anything, we are definitely learning a lot about how people. Wow, did you see that?
Wow, the grenades, buddy. It's those grenades. It's perfectly placed grenades. Who
And we
knocks
do have one team member who's knocked as well behind the car.
MRC Dunnan moving from the left. Oh, great shooting, but he's
Picked him
knocked.
up. Picked him up.
Wow, Team MRC really changing it up. They got some excellent loot right now. They've got the storm, that is their only concern right now, but they have vehicles to get them to safety.
I think they should be able to make themselves out with that one.
That was GG's because Castro were really putting the pressure from Miramar as well, and it's great to see them. It's great to see getting knocked out. It makes for great entertainment, buddy.
Yeah, definitely. Really thrilling stuff to see all of that. I mean, a bit sad and a bit unfortunate considering you were in a position that had a Gilly, you had a Groza, you seemed like you had good momentum from the previous games, but yeah, really unfortunate to see how that kind of changed.
Castro right now sitting pretty in third place in the overall standings, but that's all going to change after this round because Team MRT Goku is in fifth. But I think the longer that they prevail, higher they might climb on this table. Like, I really see them moving into the top three after this.
I mean, they've already done away with two teams in great fashion. So yeah, I'm definitely on the same page with you on that one.
See, Ruthless right now stuck on the wrong end of the storm, and Team 7 right there waiting for him to come through. How would he play this, Lamek? I guess hopefully create a good diversion or a smoke wall. These guys are stuck in the storm.
I mean, the storm is gonna take some people. You're definitely gonna be.
Someone is shooting him. Someone seems to have got some bullets off.
I don't think Ruthless is gonna get knocked right now. Almost.
He's just managing, but he's got to move soon. He has no choice. He's gonna have to wait. Playing a weirdly odd game. Unfortunate for Team 16. Here, they're stuck in a really bad place. Might get knocked over the Robin. Robin's about to get knocked. Yes. Unfortunate for Robin. He's been knocked by the play zone. Ruthless had to make the decision to play for himself. He's done just that. Tough break, Lamek, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much that's happening right now. As you can see, the visibility is also starting to get a little disturbed with this kind of fog-like thing which is engulfing the map. So that's also going to play out really interesting for teams.
See Team Blind over there just taking some shots into the cabin. I'm not even sure if they can see anyone. Maybe one of those lucky bullets might pick out someone. It's the Team Parasite that's under attack over here. Team Blind got a good location. Oh, managed to get some good shots on Zal. Zal pretty close to being the first guy to get knocked out again in this team.
Yeah, Zal has been having a bit of a poor game today. He's finding himself. I'm not even sure how many kills he managed to pull off today.
Those stats in a bit. Meanwhile, just very curious to see how Team 5 their way out of this one. Looks like Telugu Gamers have been knocked by Team MRC again in the middle of it, taking out Telugu Gamers. It looks like Team MRC have lost. Team MRC players out. This 10 Glisten.
Yeah, I think they have lost one player already. But unfortunate there.
Unfortunate, but they have taken out. Look at the number of kills, Lamek. That's 11 kills right there. 3 of them. Overall, it's 12 kills for the team. So full power to them. I mean, they are high on confidence. They are definitely climbing the table right now. They will be comfortably in second. It might seem if the Telugu Gamers have been knocked out.
Yeah, I think it's all adding up to the points. Great points, definitely going to boost them up into higher positions on that table.
Parasite, few bullets to Team 19, favorite amateurs. See how they handle this. There is no vision, Lamek. He's taking 3 shots, it feels like.
Oh,
It's
we see Arjun down.
like there's just two of them in this match. We might have lost Natasha and Babyface Gangster.
You got to be a bit wary because in 30 seconds, that circle is going to be getting smaller and smaller. And yeah, there might not be a team 21 or a team 19 anymore.
Yeah. It's definitely very tricky. We got Parasite just outside the circle over here. And also outside the circle. So they will need to move in. Both teams will need to move in. It's blind inside the circle.
Going to change.
So they are inside the circle. So Team Parasite is actually on the back foot over here. Very interesting to see. Where is Team MRG Goku? Might be getting into battle soon. Team Blind again with U Tamil from behind, Lamek. Team Blind is U-Tech Tamil from behind.
I don't think they saw that one coming. Zal again trying to peek and see if he gets any visuals on team number 2.
Got some bullets out, but unfortunately didn't cause any damage. Oh my god, U-Tech Tamil caught on the wrong side of this. You see someone from Team 6 coming into Blind from the left. Oh my god, Blind is in the middle of this Lamek. We got Team 9 from behind. Team 6 closing in from west side of Blind. And have spread out.
They might be still in position. They might be in a position to kind of dictate terms, so long as they manage to hold their ground. But I mean, if anything we have seen in the past is that things can change really quickly, as we can see now. A lot of
MRG,
are going down.
That was MRG that took out U-Tech Randy. From where, buddy? These guys are really high on
fire.
From so far away. He's got a 6x M4 with a silencer.
Storm coming in as well.
Coming in, MRG Venom will have to make his move inside. Cars are all smoking. He's dangerously close to the cars. Parasite taking some shots from Blind. Parasite, Indian Army has been knocked from that team. See some battles. Arjun 7 has been knocked again. I'm surprised he made it this far, in fact.
Yeah, not bad for him.
Oh, is he blind? Arjun 7 has been knocked. I think he's still knocked from the previous round.
Yeah, he's still knocked.
Blind in and 1 HP. He needs to. Yeah, he's back up again. It's pain. Arjun 7 has been taken out by Unlock. See, Indian Army has been knocked over there. Team Parasite will have to find a way to revive him, but they've got the Team Raven breathing down their necks from one side, and they've got Team Blinds on the other side. These guys are in a sandwich, a cluster flip and sandwich, Lamek.
Oh my god, there's just too many words you're throwing around, but I can understand. I can understand. I can understand the conjecture and the absolute cramped environment that Team 5 find themselves in. I mean, they can be taking bullets from anywhere right now, Johnny. I think they're in a really bad situation.
See, Ruthless right now to be outside the house, stuck in a weird place. Parasite pushing to just get one smoke out. See, Team 9, Raven charging with the car, some bullets going off. It's a matter of time before we lose Parasite. Parasite
he's been knocked, and he's dead.
The Team Raven was it? Got him. Blind Zal, Lamek, that was Blind Zal, just like.
Oh, those Blind Zal, okay, not bad. He's at least getting some points back on the board.
Zal got that 1 kill for his team. Very interesting final circle this is now. We've got the Blind team, we've got Team MRZ who have just been killing it this round. Team Blind with 11 team kills, Lamek. They are really cementing that they want to be on top of the table. I think this result so far should already secure the lead. Let's see if they can take it all the way through. It's going to be interesting. So Molly going in over there for Fiora, stuck me in the rock. I think that Molly just missed him.
Yeah, landed just a bit short, in fact, but you can see some smoke which is coming around that
Team
same
Blind
corner.
taking some shots on Team 14. Then we see Fiora taking some shots again on Spain. See Team Raven taking some shots on Team Blind over there. Back and forth. So Team Blind battling with three teams at this point. It's Team 14. Team 14 losing out players over there. See Team 8 MRG Goku moving in. The kill, they've got two players. Eagle team's got two players. MRG knocked him. That was intense through the smoke, Namek. He didn't even see him. It was just a
Incredible.
random.
I think he was lucky there. I think he was definitely lucky there.
Oh, and he's behind the storm. This is not looking good. The storm.
Just look at how fast his health is dropping when he's in the storm. Like 1 second,
That's
even, and
not-
he's taking away.
He's not in a good position. I think we might have lost him. So Team Raven's right above him.
Blind Pain is not in a good position either. He's got absolutely no consumables or supplies on him. And look at that health. That's looking really a bit scary. I don't even think he can
He
loot
doesn't have
that box.
enough health to even go.
Yeah, he can't loot that box even. 1 second inside the storm and he's no more. He's going to be knocked.
To find a way inside. See, these are free shots for him. He should take them and
Oh.
Raven didn't give him a chance. He took too long with that. He
Yeah.
got caught out of position in no man's land. Just been knocked. Raven
Is
made
this-
a beautiful game.
Is this
Complete
the
control.
moment we see? Is this the moment we see Blind slowly starting to crumble again, Johnny?
Brian still got three players strong, and they do have a good part of the circle. It's just one man down, so we might lose X-Pain because the circle's too small now. Then got to play for yourself, got to play for the team. Opposition. I don't think we'll see anyone reviving X-Pain because he's just too far away from his teammates. They seem to be in a very comfortable place at the edge of the circle, got high ground. We see Blind coming out good on this. We see Team Rave, they are outnumbered though. And
Yeah.
Blind are making a run for it. To be making a run for it, we see might be clashing with Team Eagle over there.
14? Yep.
Zal going for it. Zal on Eagle and he clutches it. Team 14 are out. Blind Zal doing a miracle at the end. That was a rabbit out of the bag, Lamek. What an interesting, exciting finish. Team MRC,
no.
Team Raven.
Team MRC is no more.
We have a 3v3 right now.
3v4, right, Johnny?
I think we lost Blind X-Pain, right?
Yeah, but Raven is on full capacity. Raven is on their full squad.
Raven's got one knocked and they've just been revived. They've got a box. They've got a drop, Lamek. This is great news for them.
It's
think
going to be
Perfectly placed grenade is just all that. Off with that grenade, Lamek. Brian Zal early turning up the screws. Raven are almost done and it's over. Blind Echo's team have taken it. GG's. That was well deserved. Overall,
Oh my god.
Zal really coming through at the end. Lamek, what are your thoughts on that one, buddy?
I think for starters, I must openly say and apologize that I did not expect to see that from Blind. I really, in my mind, I had written them off, but I guess they have definitely silenced their critics and me included in that one. Absolutely fantastic play by them. They really pulled the rabbit out of the bag towards the last few moments. I mean, a little disappointing to see MRZ, as we were saying, fall so close to the end. But I mean, blind is blind, Johnny. There's nothing more I can really say to that.
I mean, if you look at the overall standings, right, for this round, we see Team Raven have finished second, but I think we know who the team that should have finished second was Team MRZ. I mean, just look at the numbers.
I think we were definitely backing on them. Second place, the team MRZ Goku would have definitely pushed them maybe in the top three. Since Castro did not really.
Castro didn't do much. I think
Yeah,
we
they
might
didn't do much. actually.
MRZ Goku into the top two, Lamek.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, if that's the predictions, then yeah, that could have happened, but a bit unfortunate. But as of now, in terms of the standings, I feel like Blind Psycho is just gonna pull away with a great lead.
Oh yeah, man, Blind really cementing the win over there. The team with the highest number of wins uh, last 2 days of weekend scrims. So yeah, they really are cementing themselves in that position and looking to always be the team to beat Lamek, which is incredible.
Yeah.
Very curious to see where Telugu gamer will finish. He did not have a great round here. Uh, Interesting battles in Weekendy. Weekendy was actually, I felt like this was definitely a very exciting match. Lamek. Might have been my favorite round of all four.
Oh wow, that's really good to hear. I mean, I think I need to highlight Mirama as well. I think there was a lot of great play. But no, I think Miramar and Vikendi proved to be quite good gameplay, especially for the viewers. Yeah,
Full power to the teams that give us this entertainment. They really fight tooth and nail in those final few circles.
yeah, hundred
We
percent, hundred
lots to
percent.
learn when we watch these guys play. As we were talking to VT, the round had started. Lots to learn. You got to be a sponge when you're on the pitch to absorb everything as much as possible and try to replicate most of that into your strategies. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Lamek and I are taking in a lot of pointers from this.
100%. The only question is, do we implement all these pointers, or whether we just talk really gloriously about it and then die really miserably in the game? That we will see very shortly later this day.
I mean, when shit hits the fan, there are some people who stay and some people who bounce. I'm the bouncer.
I was just gonna say, if you said anything other than that, I would have put my foot down and I would have called your bluff on that one, Johnny. If
Yeah,
you would have said anything else, I would have been like, "Excuse me." Yeah, but
I've been nothing but truthful today, so
I'm happy. I'm happy to see that you're taking. I'm happy to see that you're respecting Sunday for all its glory and being truthful as you can. And yeah,
certainly. I mean, and a big shout out to UltimateE for hosting South Indian Battle of the Stars, really providing that entertainment during the quarantine. Lamek, how has the quarantine been for you? How has esports changed your quarantine outlook?
I mean, let's back it up a little bit before the quarantine even started. I mean, gaming was always a part of growing up as a kid for many of us, yourself included, and a lot of people who are a part of the Ultimate E family. So, gaming was always there. Esports, of course, off late started to get a lot of buzz. I mean, few of us decided to get into PUBG. There were a lot of other of our friends who were into Fortnite and trying out a lot of different games. But I felt during this time of isolation and of lockdown and of quarantine, we kind of have turned our attention to these virtual sporting events a lot more, as we by nature kind of are seeking this kind of competitive raw action unfold in front of us. So I'm really embracing the e-games. I feel like esports and such is ever so booming industry, and it's really going to revolutionize the way we look at gaming in the next few years.
Definitely. I mean, it's already. I mean, I'm not as bored as I was before completely immersing myself in esports. So full power to
Yeah,
ultimately for getting this going. And
exactly.
PUBG already a very entertaining game. It just made it all the more entertaining. Big shout out to Team Blind. Always notice that Team Blind. They are the authority even in the comment section. Lamin.
Yeah, I mean, they're the people's champions, man. It
People
seems
champ.
like a lot of people from Kerala and a lot of people on our YouTube channel has also showed great love and great support for them. So I'm very sure that a lot of fans are feeling pretty good that they saw their team victorious after a not so great start today.
But great finish, and that's usually what we'll end up taking away from this whole is a blind killed at the end over there. But yeah, fair play to all the other teams.
think that's it, Lambic. Do you have anything else you want to add?
No, I think I'm pretty. I think it's fair enough for us to get some to draw your attention towards the results, which are going to be shared on the Ultimate E Instagram page. So please, guys, check that out. Click the follow button. Check out the stories. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of great content coming your way from the organizers of Ultimate E. So tune in. Johnny, any last words from you?
You can catch them on Twitch as well, UltimateE official Twitch channel. Sorry, I think we lost our broadcaster over there.
I think I think
I think
also I think in the Discord channel also.
cool. So well done to Team Blind. We'll catch you guys back during the midweek scrims again. Hang tight and see you soon.
GG, GG.
Yo, this shit